Alright guys, today we're putting two heavyweights head to head, Samsung's Galaxy Z Fold7 and Apple's iPhone 17 Pro Max. I've been daily driving both, bouncing between iOS and Android, editing photos, filming B-roll, and of course doom scrolling at 2 a.m. So let's go ahead and compare the best hardware that Apple offers to the best hardware that Samsung offers. And if you're new here, I make no BS review videos, I just say it how it is. So if that's something that you like, definitely consider subscribing. First, the vibe. The Fold 7 is finally the foldable that doesn't feel like a high school science project. It's noticeably thinner and lighter than other folds, and the new dimensions fix one of my biggest gripes, that tall, skinny cover screen that we had before. The cover screen is now 6.5 inches with a 21:9 aspect ratio, so typing and swiping actually feel normal. And when you open it up, you get a big 8-inch canvas that legitimately replaces small tablets. However, Samsung did kill the support for the S Pen in order to, of course, get this device as thin as it is. Personally, I'm okay with it. I never really used an S Pen on the Galaxy Fold before because, well, there's no really good place to put it. You can't put it inside like you can with the S25 Ultra, or really the Ultra series. And if you really wanted to bring it with you, you would have to buy one of those weird, ugly cases that holds the pen, which just makes this phone bulky. I don't like it, but I know a lot of you guys do, so something to keep in mind. Apple, of course, went the opposite direction. Instead of folding, they just redesigned the Pro Max itself. The 17 Pro Max moves to an aluminum unibody with a vapor chamber inside, which sounds like marketing until it's not. Sustained performance is better, the phone runs cooler when gaming or when shooting video, and the battery life of the iPhone 17 Pro Max is just it's out of this world. Say hello to 8+ hours of screen on time compared to around 6 hours on the Fold. Now, I gotta be honest, 6 hours for such a thin device with an 8-inch screen on the inside with 2600 nits of brightness, 6 hours is not bad. Now, as far as performance goes, both of these phones are obviously going to be monsters. If anyone tells you otherwise, turn around and walk away from them, because you don't need that kind of negativity in your life, first of all. Second of all, they're wrong. The Fold 7 runs the Snapdragon 8 Elite, and the iPhone 17 Pro Max is running the A19 Pro. Now, in raw power, yeah, the iPhone wins, but this only really matters if you're like editing videos or exporting videos or doing something that I think not a lot of people do on their phones. But for those that do, this thing's a beast, and if you don't do that, you might not even notice the A19 Pro in here. But before you Samsung fanboys send me your dirty socks in the mail, you must know this phone pretty much destroys the iPhone in terms of power in every other way. Yes, I'm talking about AI, because Apple, what is this? What is that? Samsung's AI, and honestly, I think any AI is not only months ahead of Apple, but years, it feels like. Probably not years, but it feels like years. Apple's implementation of AI looks like it's almost an afterthought in a very important race. Apple really needs to work on AI and Siri, because check this out. So today is October 16th, right? So just so you guys can see, October 16th. This is my favorite test to do, by the way, across all large language models. I'm going to ask it, what month was it last month? Now, you should know, right? It's September, right? So I'm going to do it live. What month was it last month?
It's Thursday, October 16th, 2025.
So the display on the iPhone 17 Pro Max is better, but this again kind of depends on your view and needs. The iPhone 17 Pro Max is brighter, 3000 nits versus 2600 nits, and the iPhone also incorporates an anti-reflective display, which helps drown out those annoying reflections. The iPhone also supports Dolby Vision for streaming for amazing HDR performance. Pro Max stays at 6.9 inches, 120 Hz, whereas the Z Fold 7 has that beautiful 8-inch display, also at 120 Hz. In my opinion, Apple optimized the screen on the iPhone 17 Pro Max to be brighter and for that extra visibility, and the Samsung just has this really massive canvas, so obviously Samsung has optimized this phone to be a multitasking beast. So if you want to use one app full screen and want the brighter slab, the iPhone wins. If you multitask like a gremlin, the Fold is the clear king. The cameras are where these two phones kind of take a different kind of swing, if you know what I mean. The Z Fold 7 has a 200 megapixel camera. Samsung, how did you even fit that in there, huh? You gotta teach me some tricks. Detail is excellent in low light, and Samsung's Pro Visual Engine cleans up those low light noise better than the previous Folds. Apple went all in on consistency and reach. All three cameras are now 48 megapixels, and the new telephoto pulls the slick trick. It gives you 4 times optical and optical quality up to 8 times zoom thanks to the larger sensor. Now I know optical quality isn't actually optical quality, it's still a digital zoom with some AI cleanup to make it look optical quality, but it's not, so do keep that in mind. Now this might be kind of obvious, but no foldable phone can compare with a candy bar style flagship phone in terms of cameras or, you know, video, photos, that kind of stuff. Even Samsung's very own S25 Ultra beats this phone when it comes to cameras, so obviously comparing these two, not fair, I know. But it's still kind of fun just to see, you know, what if the next Fold beats the iPhone? Who knows? Probably not, but, you know, I could hope. Durability is another one of those obvious things. Like, you know, obviously a folding phone, at least as of right now, will never, ever be as durable as a candy bar style phone. I mean, this is clearly obvious. Everyone knows this simple fact, but damn it, Samsung still found a way to impress me. I dropped this phone coming out of my car yesterday, and I cannot find a single scratch. Like the sound it made, I thought, no, that's it, I'm done. But there is nothing, like I don't even know where it impacted. Like, so whatever oh, the camera. No, that was just dust. Whew, man, that got my blood pumping. But as far as IP ratings go, I believe the Z Fold 7 is the first phone with like a full IP rating. So this has IP48. So that's kind of good for water splashes, rain, stuff like that. The iPhone 17 Pro Max is IP68, so that's great for basically a typhoon, a monsoon, a tsunami, a hurricane, swimming in the pool. If you want, don't do that, but if you want, it should survive. No promises. Don't sue me, sue Apple. Actually, you can't because they have some crazy legal team. Anyway, so this is obviously going to be more durable. Again, this is common sense. However, I will say if you baby your phone or you're mostly indoors, the Fold's trade-offs are worth it for that giant screen. So if I had to absolutely choose, what phone am I going to be using, right? Like if you asked me, hey Mark, what phone would you use for 2 years nonstop? You can't go back to any other phone. Honestly, the iPhone. Hi, you didn't see that one coming, did you? Look, I know I was harsh on Apple in my previous videos. A lot of you guys called me like an Android fanboy, anti-Apple. I own so many of Apple's products, like a lot, more than I should. I don't hate Apple, but the things they were doing with the iPhone 16 Pro Max and even way earlier, it was just like the battery can go thermonuclear. iPhones got so hot to the point where the screen dims outside, so you can't even see what you're looking at. The battery life was atrocious. iOS 18 was riddled with bugs, and honestly, so was iOS 17, if I remember. So they kind of deserved me being harsh, since I'm a reviewer. But really, the iPhone 17 series improved so much on basically every complaint that I had. Yeah, I have like no problem recommending iPhone to anyone anymore. So which phone would you guys pick, and why? Would you pick the iPhone or would you pick the Z Fold 7? Let me know down below in the comments. And if you guys enjoyed today's video, definitely click that like button. And if you're new here and you like no BS review videos, definitely subscribe. As always, this was Mark from Mark's Tech. Adios.